Welcome back to How to Be a Better DM, the official podcast of Monsters.rent. I'm Justin Lewis.
And I'm Tanner Wayland.
And we are here to help you tell better stories for yourself and your players as you dungeon master sessions of D&D, Dungeons & Dragons. We'd like to give you some quick announcements. We actually have one before the show, and then after the show, if you want to stick around, we have some more announcements then as well. But first, let's talk about this. Tired of being alone? Are you tired of not having any of your players understand you? Are you tired of never truly belonging? Well, you're in luck. All you need to do is join the Guild. The Guild is a unique and exclusive experience that is only open to Dungeon Masters. It is a full community focused on helping ease your DMing burdens. Want to meet other DMs? Join the Guild. Want to discuss your homebrew ideas with people who would appreciate it instead of just telling your cat? Join the Guild. Want to find a place where all your wildest dreams will come true? Join the Guild. Go to monsters.rent/guild and sign up today for free. Wait, that can't be right. Chuck, can you check this again? Is this supposed to be... What? Oh, they're serious? It's free? Oh, okay. All right. Yes, go to monsters.rent/guild and sign up today for free, even though they are crazy for giving this away for free. Common side effects may include burping, sneezing, laughing, breathing, hearing, listening, tasting, farting, critting, sarcasm, and in extreme cases, explosive diarrhea. Awesome. With that out of the way, we can get into today's show. You walk into the tavern. Your sword and shield clinking together as you walk makes everyone in the tavern turn and look at you. Being somewhat new to this, you try and act tough and scowl at everyone. It doesn't come off well and you look sort of foolish. You walk over to the bar and wait patiently for the bartender to come talk to you and ask you what you want to drink. He doesn't. Instead, he serves all the other patrons who keep shouting at him. It seems the squeaky wheel does get the grease, you mutter under your breath. You raise your hand and shout at the bartender, "Hey!" And finally he comes over. He's a large half-orc fellow who looks like no stranger to a brawl. "Heyo, what'll it be?" he asks with a quizzical eye at your armor and clothing. You brush it off and say, "A simple ale, please. And I was wondering if you could give me some direction." The bartender stops and gives you more of his full attention. "Yeah, what did you need?" "Well, I am looking for sort of a group of companions. Do you know of any mercenary groups that are open to a new member?" The half-orc smiles and says, "You must be new to this whole adventuring thing. Well, these groups don't just accept complete strangers. You'll have to prove yourself, and they don't really go about looking for new compatriots. Now, with that in mind," and he turns you to look at the rest of the tavern, "over in that corner, those dark elves, they're the right harvesters. They're a group of drow come up from the Underdark, seeking to quell those who follow any demon or devil. Bunch of righteous pricks, if you ask me. Over there with the ogre, they're the blade speakers, mostly just ruffians and vagabonds, really. And lastly, the group to your left here are the whisper wraiths. They're tied up with the Zentarim. Pretty tight, though. So, adventurer, here's your drink. And I'm curious, what are you going to do? So, what would you like to do? Welcome back to How to Be a Better DM. I'm your host, Justin Lewis, and I'm here to help you create better stories as you DM sessions of Dungeons & Dragons 5e. Today, let's talk about one of the first things that you'll do as a DM, finding your D&D group. This is going to be my hypothetical list for what I would do if I wanted to find players for my D&D campaign. You might try different things, but this is what I would do first. Number one, ask friends and family. The first thing I do when starting a D&D campaign is ask my friends and family. For me personally, I try to start with my family just to build that relationship better, but again, that's just me. I also don't just ask friends who I know would be interested. I ask any friend because D&D is a great way to build friendships. I've also been highly surprised at the people who have said yes and have been extremely excited to try D&D. You just gotta ask. I think this is the best place to start because D&D can turn an acquaintance into a friend and a good relationship into a great one. Often, D&D sessions turn into much more. Number two is ask friends and family for referrals. Every single one of your friends has friends who are not your friends. What better way to meet someone who might like the same types of things you like than by asking someone who likes the same types of things that you like? But I don't really want to meet new people. I get it. We're all introverts and we're all extroverts, and we all like staying home and binging Netflix, and we all like going out and partying. We all are this weird mix of introverted extroverts and extroverted introverts, but sometimes you don't want to meet new people. I get it, but sometimes you don't want to be lonely. The fact of the matter is that you do have to put yourself out there, especially as a DM. You have to give so many invitations, and most of them will naturally be no's. That's okay. Just ask your friends and family who say no, who they might know who would say yes, or even be interested in hearing what D&D is all about. Number 3 is trawl the socials. The next thing I do is head over to the social media lords and bow down before them, begging for the gift of friendship. Just kidding. But seriously though, the social media palaces are great places to find new adventurers. There are basically 2 methods of approach. Number 1 is the Craigslist method. This method isn't as productive as the next method, I think, where virtually you go online and you post essentially a want ad. In fact, here's a quick template that you can use. Hi, I'm looking for anyone interested in trying something new, period. There's a game that I've been wanting to play for a while, called Dungeons & Dragons. I'd love to try it out with you. If you're interested, send me a quick DM. The parentheses are optional, but you just put out your desires to the universe and let the universe get back to you. I've done this on social media and it's worked pretty well, but not as well as I would have hoped. Next method is the spy method. Instead of sending out an advertisement on a feed that most people won't see or will disregard, there's a better way. Naturally, this way will take a lot more work and intelligence, but you'll get better results. Start with the list of people you follow or who follow you on social media. Now go down the list one by one. Look through their photos and posts and look for something that would indicate that they'd be open to playing D&D with you. Next, send them a simple direct message about what you noticed on their profile and then ask if they'd be interested in playing. What you're doing is you're looking for signals that they'd be receptive to the invitation. Number 4, hit up local comic book stores. Next, you can try frequenting places where the type of person you're looking for frequents. Go to the local game store or comic book store. I know here in Utah County we have Dragon's Keep, the Game Grid, Gamers Inn, and a few more. So go there and hang around for a while. You can even try sparking up a conversation with anyone perusing the D&G section of the store. And if you're afraid of doing that, you can ask the person at the front counter if they know of anyone looking for a D&D group. They'll likely have some sort of resource available or just know someone who's asked them the same question. They'll be able to put you in touch. Number 5, browse online. Next, you can look through sites like Roll20 for a group. You can also put yourself up on sites like startplaying.games, where you can list games that you'd like to host as a DM. This option really works the best when you have a lot of experience and a lot of compelling images that catch people's attention and draw them in. The other way is to play as a player in one of these settings and then ask the other players if they'd be up for playing again, but with you in the DM seat. Make sure, though, not to steal anyone away from the group of the original DM, or you might make bad blood. Number 6, Craigslist ad. When everything else fails, you can just post a free ad on Craigslist or wherever there are classifieds and hope for a response. To be honest, I wouldn't even try this method because you will likely get responses from a lot of creepy people. Instead, maybe you can reach out to us on Instagram at howtobeabetterdm, and we'd be happy to try and set you up in a group with anyone we know. We don't have a huge community of friends and peers, but we'd be happy to help and open it up to you so you don't have to keep looking through Craigslist. And as always, there's always the option of trying our one-shot and getting to know people there. So there you have it. 6 steps, I guess, for me looking for a D&D group. Number 1 is ask friends and family. Number 2 is ask friends and family for referrals. Number 3 is trawl the socials. Number 4 is hit up your local comic book stores. Number 5 is browse online. And number 6 is a Craigslist ad. Thank you for listening to today's show. Stay tuned after to hear some announcements. But until next time, my friend, adventurers, let's roll initiative. Thank you for listening to today's show. We really appreciate your support and your patronage. We have a few more announcements to go over. First,
did you ever fall in love with the library as a kid? It was a place where you could experience 1,000 stories without having to buy 1,000 books. That is what Monsters at Rent can do for your D&D campaign. You can rent and swap out as many quality miniature monsters and creatures for your D&D party as you could ever want, without having to buy them. You can rescue villagers from a kobold camp, or lead your party through the fighting forest, or many more adventures. We're coming out with new bundles all the time. Just sign up for our subscription to get access to your own personal library of minis. Go to monsters.rent to find out more. That's the website. monsters.rent. Get your library pass to a world of minis today.
We also wanted to let you know that today's episode is sponsored by Stardust and Dragons. I'm going to let one of the cast of Stardust and Dragons, Christian Hatcher, and his crew tell you a little bit more about it.
This August, a new adventure podcast is coming to a platform near you, filled with action,
Shoot one of the two of them. We can't keep taking hits like that.
drama,
Everything that she's been doing, everything she's going to do, finally sets in.
and stardust.
Help! Help! Someone, please!
Find out more about this epic odyssey at stardustanddragons.com, where adventure awaits in the stars.
That's all the announcements we have today. Again, thank you so much for everything you do for us. You make this show possible. Like we said before, we'll be back next week with another great episode, and until then, let's go ahead and roll initiative.